By our esteemed high-level party, a warm, warm welcome. Thank you very much. And as you take your seats, may I kindly ask us to settle, kindly. My dear friends from the media, may I ask you to settle? Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to ask you to give a resounding round of applause to the continent of Africa, for which we are committed and for which we have hope and for which we believe we will achieve prosperity. Your Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Your Excellency Mahamadou Issoufou, former President of the Republic of Niger, and of course, AFCFTA champion, Prime Minister Russell Dlamini of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Secretary General Wamkele Mene of the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have come full circle. Mesdames et messieurs, vous êtes les bienvenus à la deuxième édition de Biashara Africa, qui s'intitule Oser inventer l'avenir de l'ASLECAF. Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome to the second edition of what we like to call an opportunity to dare, not only to
In 2018, a new chapter began for Africa. A chapter of unity, progress, and shared prosperity. At the forefront of this historic moment was His Excellency President Paul Kagame, whose leadership dared to envision and invent the future of African trade.
Tomorrow, we will sign a historic agreement creating a continental free trade area. The road to this point has been long, indeed. It can be measured in decades, and we still have a few more steps to take. But we are persisting, and a new chapter in the story of African unity is set to begin.
On March 21st, 2018, Kigali became the birthplace of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, a bold vision to unite 55 sovereign states and create the world's largest free trade area. Rwanda was among the first nations to ratify the AFCFTA, once again positioning itself at the forefront of Africa's future. Rwanda's commitment to this vision did not end with the ratification. As one of the first countries to implement the AFCFTA and participate in the Guided Trade Initiative, Rwanda continues to be a driving force behind the agreement's success, facilitating cross-border trade, attracting foreign investment, and empowering businesses across the continent. Rwanda continues to shape the future of African economic cooperation. Through the Kigali-based AFCFTA Adjustment Fund, in collaboration with Afreximbank, Rwanda is ensuring that all African economies, large and small, are poised to thrive in this new era of trade. This fund, hosted in Rwanda, provides the financial support African nations need to fully benefit from the AFCFTA, fostering resilience and long-term growth across the continent.
Of the Deputy Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Dr. Monique Nzaza Baganwa. Thank you very much for joining us, Madam. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us start with our official welcome remarks coming from the Minister of Trade and Industry, Republic of Rwanda. Please welcome Prudence Sebahizi.
Your Excellency, President Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Your Excellency Russell Dlamini, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Your Excellency Mahamadou Issoufou, former President of Niger and the champion of the African Continental Free Trade Area, Dr. Monique Sanzabaganwa, Deputy Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Honorable Salim Mvura Mgala, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry of Kenya, my brother Wamkele Mene, Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA Secretariat, Dr. Jean Kasseya, Directeur Général de Africa CDC, Honorable Ministers present here, members of the diplomatic corps of His Excellency President Paul Kagame, has been a key driving force in this transformative journey. History will forever recall that the AFCFTA was born right here in this very room at the Kigali Convention Center on the 21st of March 2018, when African leaders were here to sign the agreement establishing the AFCFTA. This momentous occasion marked the dawn of a new era for African trade. It was a significant milestone that reaffirmed Rwanda's dedication to Pan-Africanism and the broader vision of African unity and economic self-reliance. Indeed, the AFCFTA would have not come to life without the unwavering determination and tireless efforts of His Excellency Mahamadou Issoufou, who was entrusted by heads of state and government to champion this noble cause since February 2017. Your Excellencies, as I conclude, allow me to emphasize that Biashara Africa serves as a vital platform for dialogue and collaboration among business leaders, policymakers, and entrepreneurs. It offers an invaluable opportunity to engage in meaningful discussions, address emerging challenges, and explore new paths for growth and development. It is the private sector that will harness the opportunities presented by this expansive market, unlocking the potential of intra-African trade in goods and services, driving industrialization, and creating millions of jobs for our youth. The entrepreneurs, businesses, and innovators across Africa are the driving forces behind this transformative agenda. As we work together to ensure success of AFCFTA, let us remember that this is not just a policy initiative, it's an opportunity to reshape the destiny of our continent. Let us seize this platform to strengthen our partnership and explore new possibilities. Once again, welcome to Kigali, and I wish you fruitful discussions. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Ministre. Merci beaucoup. Et maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, je voudrais inviter sur scène Wamkele Mene, secrétaire général de l'ASLECAF. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Secretary General of the AFCFTA, Wamkele Mene.
Thank you very much, Madam Program Director. Your Excellency, President Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Honorable Prime Minister Dlamini, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Your Excellency Mahamadou Issoufou, former President of the Republic of Niger and AFCFTA champion, Honorable Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvuya Mgala, ably representing President Ruto, Your Excellency Dr. Monique Nsanza-Baganwa, the Deputy Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Your Excellency Dr. Jean Kaseya, Director General of Africa CDC, our special guest, Mr. Mesfin Bekele, CEO of Ethiopian Airlines, Honorable Minister Prudence Baizi, Minister of Trade and Industry of the Republic of Rwanda, Honorable Ministers from the Government of Rwanda, Dr. Amani Asfour, President of Africa Business Council, Excellencies, Ambassadors, High Commissioners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a privilege and an honor for us to be back in Kigali, Rwanda, for this second edition of Biashara Africa, under the theme, Dare to Invent the Future of the AFCFTA. I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation to President Kagame and the government that he leads for co-hosting Biashara Africa, which serves as a very important platform for engaging with Africa's private sector, particularly small, medium enterprises and youth entrepreneurs. I'm grateful for the presence of Honorable Prime Minister Dlamini, as well as the presence of the ever-constant support of His Excellency President Mahamadou Issoufou. And I know that there are other leaders who had wished to be here with us today, for example, His Excellency President William Ruto, whom, as I said, is ably represented by Cabinet Secretary Mvuya Mgala. Our development partners, Afreximbank, as well as AFDB, both Presidents Adesina and Orama sent us our best wishes. They unfortunately could not be with us today. Over 400 million Africans live in extreme and moderate poverty. Trade and access to new markets is essential for us as Africans to reduce poverty. The AFCFTA, with its comprehensive and continental scope, offers Africa a path out of poverty through trade, where we intensify our efforts aimed at economic integration and laying the groundwork for a single continental market. I believe we enhance our opportunity as Africans to defeat extreme and moderate poverty. Your Excellency President Kagame, you hosted the 10th extraordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of States and Government here in this very hall in 2018, as Minister Sibaizi noted, for the signing ceremony of the agreement establishing the AFCFTA. Since that day, 21st of March 2018, 48 countries have ratified the agreement establishing the AFCFTA. Negotiations of all the protocols have successfully been concluded and adopted by the Assembly of Heads of States and Government of the African Union. More importantly, commercially meaningful trade has commenced under the Guided Trade Initiative, which we launched in October 2022 with 7 countries at that time. This year, 39 countries will be trading under the Guided Trade Initiative, demonstrating commercially meaningful trade on the basis of the AFCFTA. Less than 1 month ago, private sector here in Rwanda exported to Ghana a consignment that included 400 kilograms of tea, 400 kilograms of coffee, and other products. This export of this consignment demonstrates a trend which began in October 2022 of focusing on trade in value-added production, signaling a strategic shift away from traditional export of unprocessed raw materials. Commercially meaningful trade under the preferences of the AFCFTA is therefore taking place. Although modest in volume, we do, however, see trade happening across regions of the African continent. Large and small economies are issuing certificates of origin, which is evidence of this trade, for exports to other state parties. And in this regard, I was particularly privileged to be invited to Nigeria to witness the issuing of the first certificate of origin by the government of Nigeria to a woman-owned small-medium enterprise on 16th July this year. That certificate of origin was issued to Mama Chinwe Ezenwa, the CEO of Leluk. I believe Mama Chinwe Ezenwa is here with us. This, to me, is a remarkable example of prospects for women-owned businesses, for youth-owned businesses, where we fully implement the protocol on women and youth in trade. Mama Chinwe Ezenwa's certificate of origin, the number is 00001. She is the very first one to export. What holds further promise is leveraging on Africa's digital economy. The recently adopted protocol on digital trade. Our youth, who are at the cutting edge of Africa's digital economy, are set to take advantage of an expanded digital market in Africa through establishing digital public infrastructure that truly addresses the imperative of digital and financial inclusion to advance Africa's development objectives. As we convene here, using a digital platform which AFCFTA and Afreximbank introduced, that is why, in order to ensure inclusive growth across and in country, we introduced the AFCFTA Adjustment Fund. We partnered with Afreximbank to establish the AFCFTA Adjustment Fund, which is domiciled here in Rwanda. We have already a capital injection of over $1 billion to support countries to trade under the AFCFTA using the fund. Our target is to raise up to $10 billion. And I therefore thank Afreximbank for this partnership. Whilst we celebrate the objectively remarkable progress that we as Africans have made under the leadership of the Assembly of Heads of States and Government in the implementation of the AFCFTA, and whilst much progress has been achieved in a relatively short period of time, we still have a lot of work to do. We remain under no illusion as a Secretariat of the challenges that lie ahead. The cost of trade finance continues to be prohibitively high, excluding millions from the market. The infrastructure deficit continues to constrain enhanced trade flows. We continue to be in a position of over-reliance on imports of pharmaceuticals. And in this regard, we have committed with Africa CDC to tackle this challenge. The cost of transport and logistics continues to have a negative impact on trade. And of course, the lack of progress in achieving free movement of persons in Africa. These are some of the challenges, the very difficult challenges that shall lie ahead. But as I noted before, we should not allow the magnitude of the challenges to define our resolve to achieve a better Africa. We must not step back from the task, from the challenge, because it appears to be too difficult. So as I conclude, Your Excellencies, let me leave you with the words of the great Pan-Africanist, President Thomas Sankara, who implored us as Africans to dare to invent the future that we want. I want to thank all of you for your attention, and I wish all of us good deliberations over the next few days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary General Wamkele Mene. And ladies and gentlemen, taking inspiration from the wonderful speech of the Secretary General, I would like this room to give a round of applause to the women and youth of Africa, in whose hands I do believe the prosperity of Africa and the success of the AFCFTA will lie. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente maintenant le directeur général de Africa CDC, Dr. Jean Kasewa. Please welcome him.
Thank you, Madam Director. It's not because I'm from a Francophone country, then you have to introduce me in French. Excellencies, Excellency President Paul Kagame, President of Rwanda, and our host, please let me stand on the protocol already established by my colleagues by recognizing all excellencies, honorables, and guests who are here today. Biashara 2024 was conceived as a strategic moment to rethink the future of Africa and FCFTA on the way to unlock the intra-Africa trade. I was thinking that we'll celebrate this great moment with my brother, Wamkele, and all of you. But I've decided to change the speech that was drafted for me to address a major issue, that is the linkage between trade and health. It means all pandemics and outbreaks we are facing. This decision is led by, as you saw, the level 3 status issued by the government of the United States of America regarding the Marburg outbreak in Rwanda. I challenged them. I told them yesterday, this decision is unfair, is unacceptable, especially for a country that is doing more than all of us in the world are doing, including the US. Let me reassure you that this decision is not evidence-based, and I want to recognize my brother, the Minister of Health, Sabine, who's working tirelessly with the team, because what I saw in Rwanda since I landed, even before I landed in Rwanda, I'm just impressed. There is nothing more that we can do that Rwanda is not doing. Rwanda is making us proud as Africans. I'm proud as Director General of Africa CDC to say that Rwanda is a school for all of us on the way to manage this kind of outbreaks. But let me also say, we are tired. We are tired every time there is an outbreak, we are in panic mode because we need to start to beg the world for vaccines, drugs, diagnostics. It was the case for Mpox. It was the case before for COVID, and it's still the case for Marburg. Let us take a strong decision today under the leadership of President Kagame, who is also our champion for domestic financing. But also, I wanted to meet President Ruto, who is the champion for local manufacturing, to say, from today, we need to start to manufacture all of our medical countermeasures in Africa. We took this decision, we started to act. For Mpox, we started the tech transfer. For Marburg, we started the tech transfer also in Rwanda. We are working with Rwandan authorities. We'll be back after 21 days after this decision from the US government. It means on the 28th of October, I will be in Rwanda. But I requested my US senior officials who are talking with me yesterday to be with me in Rwanda. We need to do our best to lift the status by end of October, because we believe that this one is breaking trade, is breaking economy. You don't know the number of colleagues and friends who cancel their trips because they are just afraid not to go back to the US. And we cannot accept that. President, we are there because you wanted us to be there. We are there because Wankele, myself, and Dr. Monique, we are AU supporting all of our countries. And you can rest assured that we'll do everything possible to move Rwanda out of this outbreak, but also to strengthen our health systems in Africa by manufacturing our medical countermeasures. I thank all of you.
And we thank you, Dr. Jean Kasewa. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to hear a few words from Honorable Salim Mvura Mgala, who is the Cabinet Secretary of Investment, Trade and Industry, Kenya. Please welcome him.
Your Excellency, President Paul Kagame and partners, let me take this brief opportunity, Your Excellency, first of all, to register our gratitude for your hosting of this very important forum here in Kigali. His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto was expected to be in this forum. However, due to exigencies of duty, he sent me here and a delegation of senior officials from government to represent the Republic of Kenya. It gives me a lot of pleasure and honor, therefore, to send warm greetings from His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto and the people of Kenya in this particular forum. And therefore, Your Excellency Paul Kagame received greetings from Dr. William Samoei Ruto. The government of Kenya is fully committed to the dreams of AFC-FTA, and as a government, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto has put in mechanisms to ensure that we fully implement the decisions that will make Africa trade with itself and with its neighbors. And therefore, we believe that AFC-FTA is a good transformative tool that is going to transform the economies of Africa and also inspire the potential for growth and prosperity. Because of time, I will not go through this statement, but I just came here, Your Excellency, to assure you and all the delegates that the government of Kenya is fully behind Biashara Africa, and to demonstrate that commitment, today we will have a signing of an MOU between one of the companies in Kenya so that we can regulate and inspire trade. I also want to take it from the CDC Director General. As government of Kenya, we have set up special economic zones where we inspire investments and manufacturing. And one of the areas we have set is to ensure that we have a special economic zone that is going to be purely for pharmaceuticals, and therefore going forward, the issue of manufacturing pharmaceuticals will also be an issue that we move forward together. So I want to congratulate all of us here today, and more importantly, to pay my gratitude to His Excellency Paul Kagame for hosting this particular event. And as Kenya, we are fully behind the initiatives in AFC-FTA. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, now giving way for a few remarks from Dr. Monique Nzazabaganwa, who is a Deputy Chairperson of the African Union Commission. Your Excellency, we await you.
Your Excellency, Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda. Your Excellency, Mahamadou Issoufou, former President of Niger and our African Union champion on FCFTA. Excellency Prime Minister, Russell Dlamini, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Eswatini. Your Excellency, Cabinet Secretary, Excellencies Ministers, my dear brother Wamkele Emene, and my other brother, Dr. Kaseya Deje of Africa CDC. Allow me to, like others, stand on already established protocol and tell you how it's a privilege to address you at this Biashara Africa 2024. I bring warm greetings from the African Union Commission, especially from its chairperson, His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, who delegated me to represent him in this important forum. I express sincere gratitude to Rwanda for its remarkable continental free trade area alongside other agreements. Indeed, the ideal of an integrated, prosperous and peaceful Africa may be, as we all know, facing untold challenges today, but the FCFTA is here to remind us that we are making progress regardless. This forum, themed Strong Value Chain and Value Chains for Increased Inter-Africa Trade, embodies our continent's commitment to an integrated African market. I do not need to labor much convincing you of what the FCFTA holds for Africa because the SG Wamukele has already done it. But suffice to re-emphasize that this single market of almost 2 billion people come 2035 has the potential to create tremendous wealth while unlocking industrialization on our continent, hence the pertinence of discussing value chains and supply chains here today. To achieve this, we must enhance the private sector's role and create conducive environment for our youth and women-led enterprises, encouraging innovation and growth. The private sector, as Africa's growth engine, is essential in enabling smooth cross-border trade, promoting seamless goods movement, and fostering opportunities for many SMEs. The question remains how easy it is for Wafanya Biashara, the traders we are talking about, to move across borders. The African Union Protocol on free movement of persons was also signed here, a twin instrument to the FCFTA, but it has not gained the same momentum. Though 33 member states have signed the protocol today, about 27 here in Kigali in 2018, only 4 have ratified it, which is less than 15 we need for the protocol to enter into force. I congratulate Rwanda, Your Excellency President Paul Kagame, for your leadership because you are among the 4 who have ratified. Others being Niger, of course, Mali, and Sao Tome and Principe. This forum, therefore, uniting governments, businesses, and civil society, should address the structural challenges that limit intra-Africa trade, free movement of persons being among chief of them. Robust values and supply chains, coupled with improved trade financing, transportation and logistics infrastructure, as well as ease the regulatory complexities, are fundamental to achieving AFCFTA's vision. Recent global events have underscored our supply chain's vulnerabilities, stressing the need for stronger intra-African networks. The African Union Commission is advancing the AFCFTA's goals by enhancing trade facilitation, sector-specific development, and value chain integration. We are focusing on critical sectors: agriculture for food security and export opportunities, pharmaceuticals for health sovereignty and resilience, and of course, digital space for seamless cross-border trade and inclusivity. Your Excellencies, as activity and sustainability, Tujenge Africa Pamoja is not just a slogan. It's a call for collaboration, bearing in mind that divided we fall, united we stand. AFCFTA is a beacon of hope, poised to transform Africa into an economic powerhouse. I'm confident that our dialogue here today will spark deeper cooperation and transformative change. Let us work together, governments and businesses, to strengthen value chains, build resilient supply systems, and ensure AFCFTA's promise is realized for all Africans. I will leave you with this quote from my president, His Excellency Paul Kagame. It is not complete until we do it together. I thank you.
A special thank you to the Deputy Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Dr. Monique Inzaza-Baganwa. Thank you so much, Madam, and we are grateful for your calls to action. Ladies and gentlemen, moving into the thematic video of why we are here. Dare to invent the future of the AFCFTA. How and why is in this video. Take a look.
Have you ever imagined what it truly means to unify a continent? What it means to live in Africa where no one is left behind? This isn't a dream, it's our reality. We are daring to invent our future where our borders are invisible, divisions are obsolete, where we move as one to our own beat. Our products will find markets with each other. We will settle payments swiftly and securely. Our services will move across borders as easily as our ideas. Our businesses will scale with ease. Our women and girls will thrive, breaking barriers and leading the charge on innovation. Our youth will unite across borders with seamless travel. And yes, they will lead, not just sit at the proverbial table. As we said, this is no longer a dream. In 2018, in this very room, we united to rewrite the rules of trade. We have since established the rules of origin and the Pan-African payments and settlement system, which are critical for fostering intra-Africa trade. Initiatives like the AFCFTA guided trade initiatives have already started paving the way for tangible trade across borders, including Cameroon, Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, and Rwanda. We are creating a market of innovation, growth, and opportunity, one where every African can rise to their fullest potential. AFCFTA is more than an agreement. It's the embodiment of Africa's resilience, unity, and vision. We dare to invent the future, and we have succeeded. This is our journey. This is your journey. Let's own it together and continue to create the Africa we have always dreamt of.
It is indeed time for the AFCFTA. Another round of applause for the AFCFTA. And now it's time to receive the remarks of the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Eswatini. Please welcome Honorable Russell Dlamini.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Mr. Paul Kagame. Your Excellency, the former President of the Republic of Niger and champion of the AFCFTA, Mr. Mahamadou Issoufou. His Excellency, the Secretary General of AFTA Secretariat, Mr. Wamgele Mene, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I bring with me warm regards from His Majesty King Mswati III and the Head of State of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Her Majesty the Queen Mother, the government and the people of the Kingdom of Eswatini. His Majesty would have loved to be part of this event, but due to other commitments, he couldn't attend, but has graciously appointed me to represent him. I would particularly like to express our collective gratitude to His Excellency Mr. Paul Kagame and the government of Rwanda for hosting the second edition of AFTA Business Forum, rebranded the Biashara Africa 2024, a landmark initiative under our African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. I acknowledge the esteemed business leaders and all key stakeholders in African trade and economic integration who have joined us here for this very important initiative. Your presence underscores the collective commitment to our shared goals of building the Africa we want. Special thanks to His Excellency Mr. Wamgele Mene, the Secretary General of AFTA, and the entire staff of the Secretariat, whose tireless efforts have been instrumental in driving our regional integration agenda and making this event possible. I also wish to thank Mr. Mene for the support he has shown in ensuring that the Kingdom of Eswatini is well positioned to fully participate and reap the benefits that the agreement promises to offer to African nations. Our convening here, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, here in Kigali today for the second edition of the Business Forum marks a crucial step in our journey towards economic integration in Africa. Reflecting on our path, we recall the historic milestones that have shaped the African Continental Free Trade Area, from the seeds planted by the Abuja Treaty to the comprehensive framework established by the Boosting Intra-African Trade Initiative that culminated to the historic signing of the AFTA Agreement in 2018. Envisioned by our founding fathers in 1963 in Addis Ababa and further embodied in our ambitious Agenda 2063, these efforts represent the realization of a long-held dream to unify our continent in many fronts. Despite these accomplishments, we must confront the stark reality. Africa accounts for only 3% of global trade, and intra-Africa trade stands at a mere 15%. These figures are not just statistics, they are a call to action. They highlight immense untapped potential that our continent holds and underscore the urgent need for transformative solutions. Today, our resolve is further tested by the triple C's: COVID, conflict, and climate change. The COVID-19 pandemic devastated our economies and disrupted value chains, exposing the perils of vaccine nationalism and the need for resilient local production capacities. Conflict from the ongoing strife in some parts of our continent and beyond continue to hinder our progress, both in terms of economic growth and social stability. Moreover, the calamities of climate change that manifest in floods and other natural hazards continue to challenge our ability to sustainable development and growth in the economy, in the continent. The operationalization of the AfTA now stands as a source of pride and hope for the continent. According to studies by the World Bank, if properly implemented, the agreement could lift 30 million people out of extreme poverty. This landmark initiative holds the key to unlocking new opportunities for our young people and women, fostering job creation, promoting regional and continental value chains in sectors such as manufacturing, agriculture, and thus enhancing value addition across our diverse economies. In recognition of this potential, I pledge to rally my fellow leaders at the upcoming African Union Summit to champion the full and faithful implementation of the AfTA agreement. We must expedite the conclusion of negotiations on critical sectors such as automobiles and textiles. I therefore urge those countries that have not yet deposited their instruments of ratification of the agreement to do so without delay. Let us move forward together with renewed vigor and a shared commitment to transform the promise of the AfTA into tangible prosperity for all Africans. Our continent's future hinges on our unity and our ability to fulfill the promises made to our people. Utilizing the vast natural resources of our countries is essential for stimulating economic development. We must use these resources more efficiently and collaborate on sharing expertise and technology to mitigate foreign exploitation. Such measures are vital for poverty alleviation, job creation, and technological advancement. Enhanced cooperation among African countries is crucial to drive our continent's development towards economic independence. And the AfTA is a significant step in that direction. Your Excellencies, I hope that this second edition of the AfTA Business Forum will be a tremendous success and will contribute significantly to Rwanda's inclusive and sustainable economic growth and that of the continent. There shall never be a moment again to revolutionize trade in Africa like now. Let us all seize this opportunity and be part of this wonderful journey. In conclusion, Eswatini promises to be amongst those who want to dare to invent the future of the AfTA. The Kingdom has already declared readiness to trade under the AfTA and has joined the Guided Trade Initiative, which will pave the way for Eswatini traders to actively participate in the African commercial activities. We look forward to receiving the Secretariat in the Kingdom of Eswatini to continue with engagement under this initiative. And I thank you.
Thank you very much. Prime Minister, Kingdom of Eswatini, we thank you very much for your words. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have two more very important speeches. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente l'ancien président de la République du Niger et champion de l'ASLECAF. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the former president of the Republic of Niger and the AFCFTA champion. Please welcome His Excellency Mahamadou Issoufou. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente son Excellence Mahamadou Issoufou.
Excellence, Monsieur Paul Kagame, président de la République du Rwanda, Monsieur le Premier ministre de Swatini, Madame la vice-présidente de la Commission de l'Union africaine, Monsieur Wankele Mene, secrétaire général de la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine, Monsieur le directeur de CDC Afrique, Mesdames et Messieurs, pays le plus propre d'Afrique, doté d'un régime politique stable et connaissant une forte croissance économique, le Rwanda nous montre chaque jour que l'Afrique que nous voulons, celle de l'agenda 2063, est possible. Une Afrique libre et souveraine, une Afrique en paix, une Afrique qui compte dans le concert des nations. Permettez-moi de saluer et de féliciter le président Paul Kagame, artisan de cette transformation du pays des mille collines, devenu désormais celui des 1000 opportunités. Je voudrais également saisir l'occasion, Monsieur le Président, pour vous féliciter pour la confiance que le peuple rwandais vous a récemment renouvelée. Je tiens à vous exprimer nos sincères vœux de réussite. Mesdames et Messieurs, il ne nous reste que 39 ans pour réussir la mise en œuvre effective de l'agenda 2063, adopté par l'Union africaine à l'occasion de son sommet de janvier 2013. Quel bel hommage au père fondateur. Si, à l'occasion du premier centenaire de la création de l'organisation continentale, nous arrivions à en réaliser la vision, celle de la Renaissance africaine, et les projets et programmes, dont ceux du premier plan décennal 2014-2023, ont fait l'objet récemment d'un bilan de mise en œuvre. Ces projets phares sont notamment la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine, la stratégie africaine des produits de base, le barrage hydroélectrique d'Inga, le marché unique du transport aérien, le réseau continental de trains à grande vitesse, le réseau électronique panafricain, faire taire les armes, la libre circulation des personnes et des biens et les institutions financières panafricaines. Parmi ces projets et programmes, la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine occupe une place centrale. C'est le projet qui enregistre le score de mise en œuvre le plus élevé grâce au dynamisme, à l'esprit d'initiative et à l'entre-gens de l'équipe du secrétariat dirigée par M. Wankele Mene, que je vous demande d'applaudir s'il vous plaît. Depuis la signature à Kigali, en mars 2018, de l'accord qui l'a créé, et son entrée en vigueur constatée à Niamey en 2019, que de chemin parcouru. Après 5 ans de mise en œuvre, nous pouvons affirmer que nous sommes sur la bonne voie, à l'image du Rwanda, qui s'achemine d'un pas déterminé vers l'émergence. Depuis Kigali et Niamey, que d'obstacles franchis. Avec l'adoption des protocoles sur l'investissement, sur la concurrence, sur les droits de propriété intellectuelle, sur le commerce numérique et sur les femmes et les jeunes dans le commerce. Ainsi, le cadre institutionnel de la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine a connu un renforcement et des améliorations inédites. Ces différents instruments viennent renforcer et compléter l'accord cadre et les protocoles sur le commerce des marchandises, le commerce des services et les règles et procédures pour le règlement des différends. Mesdames et Messieurs, la ZLECAf, il faut toujours le rappeler, constitue un marché de 1,4 milliard de consommateurs aujourd'hui, qui passera à 1,7 milliard en 2030, 2,4 milliards en 2050 et environ 3 milliards en 2063. Il s'agit là d'un immense potentiel de croissance économique si nous arrivions à relever le défi de la transition démographique, en particulier ceux de l'éducation, de la formation, de la santé et de la création d'emplois. Cela suppose que soient levés également les défis de la gouvernance, de la paix et de la stabilité. Ce formidable capital humain et les abondantes ressources naturelles dont dispose le continent constituent des bases solides de son émergence. L'Afrique a le potentiel pour devenir une puissance mondiale si ce potentiel est rationnellement exploité. Cela suppose une mise en œuvre cohérente de l'agenda 2063, du niveau national au niveau continental, en passant par le niveau régional. Cela suppose une mobilisation collective, notamment celle des femmes et des jeunes. Cela suppose en particulier que nous surmontions, entre autres, les défis de l'échange inégal. Mesdames et Messieurs, l'échange inégal a toujours été un instrument d'appauvrissement de notre continent. Entre 1997 et 2007, par exemple, l'Afrique a perdu, selon la Banque mondiale, 120% de son PIB du fait de l'échange inégal. Aussi, l'Afrique doit-elle tout mettre en œuvre pour mettre fin à son statut de simple réservoir de matières premières et d'importateur de produits finis. Pour ce faire, le secrétariat de la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine, que je félicite pour ses multiples initiatives, en application des dispositions pertinentes de l'accord, a conçu une stratégie de chaîne de valeur pour une industrialisation de l'Afrique, la stimulation des échanges interafricains et la conquête des marchés extérieurs. Cette stratégie se concentre à court terme sur la souveraineté et la sécurité alimentaire, la mise en place d'une industrie pharmaceutique et d'automobile, ainsi que le transport et la logistique. Il est regrettable que des projets, comme celui du réseau continental du train à grande vitesse, du grand barrage d'Inga, n'aient pas connu la mise en œuvre qu'il mérite. Pourtant, l'Afrique a les coûts de transport et de l'énergie les plus élevés du monde, ce qui réduit la compétitivité de son économie. Paradoxalement, alors que les coûts de l'hydroélectricité sont faibles, l'Afrique n'en exploite que 55% de son potentiel. Mesdames et Messieurs, les investissements et le financement constituent un autre défi à relever. L'Afrique ne reçoit qu'une part marginale des investissements directs étrangers mondiaux, à peine 5,2% en 2022. Plus grave, pour la plupart des pays du continent, l'accès au marché financier international est soit impossible, soit très coûteux. Le gouvernement africain paye 5 à 16% sur les obligations des États à 10 ans, contre, pour d'autres pays, des taux d'intérêt proches de zéro. Le coût élevé des emprunts sur les marchés financiers se traduit par une forte absorption des recettes budgétaires des États par le service de la dette, faisant peu de marge au financement d'investissements, exposant par ailleurs les pays à des risques de surendettement. D'instruments de développement, la dette devient une source d'appauvrissement. L'architecture financière internationale est inéquitable. Elle doit être réformée. Cette réforme ne sera pas l'œuvre de ceux dont elle sert les intérêts. Elle ne peut être que le résultat d'une lutte. La revendication du droit à un développement souverain auquel aspirent de plus en plus de pays constitue une opportunité. Pour participer efficacement à ce combat, l'Afrique doit renforcer les institutions financières panafricaines existantes comme la BAD et Afreximbank et accélérer la mise en place de celles qui sont prévues par les différents traités, notamment celui d'Abuja. En particulier, la mise en place de la Banque africaine d'investissement et du Fonds monétaire africain doit être accélérée. Mesdames et messieurs, comme vous le savez, le commerce guidé constitue une autre initiative de la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine dont il faut se féliciter. Cette initiative est conçue pour être un catalyseur pour la facilitation des échanges entre les États parties. Lancée en octobre 2022, elle concernait au départ 7 États, à savoir le Cameroun, l'Égypte, le Ghana, le Kenya, l'île Maurice, le Rwanda et la Tanzanie, plus tard rejoint par la Tunisie. Cette phase pilote était essentiellement réservée au commerce des marchandises. L'évaluation de cette phase s'est révélée concluante. Aussi, le secrétariat entend-il poursuivre l'initiative en incluant les services. Près d'une quarantaine d'États parties ont manifesté leur intérêt à y participer. Afin de les accompagner, accompagner les communautés économiques régionales et le secteur privé, le secrétariat a mis en place des programmes cibles de renforcement des capacités. Notre ambition est de voir le secteur privé jouer pleinement le rôle qui est le sien dans la mise en œuvre de la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine et dans la transformation économique et industrielle du continent en tant qu'investisseur, producteur, fournisseur de services, transporteur, consultant, etc. Du Forum des affaires de la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine à Biashara, Afurika, une plateforme unique de rencontres est née pour, d'une part, susciter un dialogue constructif entre les représentants du secteur privé et les décideurs politiques africains, et d'autre part, pour favoriser une dynamique entre les communautés africaines des affaires, la diaspora et le reste du monde. Biashara Afurika est un cadre pour stimuler le financement et l'accompagnement des micro, petites et moyennes entreprises et raffermir les liens commerciaux. Mesdames et messieurs, en juin 2024, le rapport de la Banque africaine du développement affirmait, je cite, « L'avenir de l'Afrique est prometteur, mais nous devons nous assurer que nous réglons les questions de gouvernance, de transparence, de responsabilité, de gestion de notre capital naturel. Nous devons veiller à ce que les ressources soient utilisées au profit des populations du continent. Nous devons nous convaincre de l'existence d'une unité, d'un nexus entre politique et économie. La démocratie politique et la démocratie économique doivent aller du même pas ensemble. Dans cet esprit, le partenariat public-privé devait avoir toute sa place et établir une confiance véritable entre les décideurs politiques et les acteurs du secteur privé. Les acteurs publics et privés doivent oser, ensemble, en parfaite complémentarité. C'est à cela que nous invite le thème de notre rencontre d'aujourd'hui. Oser inventer l'avenir de la ZLECAf. Oser inventer l'avenir de la ZLECAf, c'est oser la préférence africaine. Cela m'amène à vous inviter à méditer le mot de Lord Macaulay dans un discours prononcé le 2 février 1835 devant le Parlement britannique. Je cite: « J'ai voyagé à travers l'Afrique. Je n'ai pas vu de mendiants ni de voleurs. J'ai vu des personnes avec de hautes valeurs morales et je pense que nous ne pouvons pas conquérir ce pays à moins que nous brisions la colonne vertébrale de cette nation qui est sa spiritualité et son héritage culturel. Par conséquent, je propose que l'on remplace son ancien système éducatif et culturel. Ainsi, quand les Africains penseront que ceux qui viennent de l'étranger, et en particulier d'Angleterre, est meilleur que ce en quoi ils croient, ils perdront l'estime de soi, leur culture, et deviendront ce que nous voulons qu'ils soient, à savoir une véritable nation dominée. Ce mot de Lord Macaulay, je l'ai cité pour la première fois dans mon discours de Berlin à l'occasion de la conférence sur le partenariat Afrique-G20 présidée par Mme Merkel et dont le thème était « Investir dans un avenir commun ». Il est apocryphe pour certains, mais il est authentique pour l'écrasante majorité. Et ce mot justifie la pertinence de l'axe de l'agenda 2063 relatif à la Renaissance africaine. Ensemble, osons. Osons la préférence africaine. Ensemble, évitons de penser que ce qui vient de l'étranger est meilleur que ce qui est endogène. Chaque Africain doit renforcer l'estime en soi et l'estime de soi, que ceux qui veulent dominer l'Afrique.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, with honor and pride and respect, I kindly ask you to be upstanding so that we can welcome to the podium the President of the Republic of Rwanda for the keynote address. Please welcome His Excellency, President Paul Kagame.
Please be seated. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to join you for the second edition of Biashara Africa, We are very pleased to welcome you all to Rwanda, in particular our special guests, former President Mahamadou Yusuf of Niger, and Prime Minister Dlamini of the Kingdom of Eswatini, and other distinguished guests. I thank you particularly because it took some amount of courage to proceed to head to Kigali from wherever you were, because of what my friend Dr. Kaseya said, the head of Africa CDC, of the virus that has been going around, but well controlled, the Marburg virus. And from that, indeed, there was a bit of panic. But we can't entirely blame people. I think it's, but I want to thank you for being here, all of you, today. I want to assure you that Rwanda is doing whatever we can to contain and control this virus, but our best cannot amount to anything without the solidarity and support we have enjoyed from Africa CDC and other partners. Also, your courage to have good understanding and continue to be here for this event. To begin, I wish to commend Secretary General Wamkele for the good work being done at the Secretariat with the support of the African Union Commission to accelerate the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. The journey to establish the world's largest free trade area began here in Kigali 6 years ago, as has already been said. 1 year later, in Niamey, the operational phase of FCFTA was launched. Your Excellency Mahamadou Yusuf, I wish to once again commend you for leading us to this point and for your contributions as a champion. These two historic moments demonstrate our commitment to the economic unity and prosperity of Africa. Indeed, Africa is capable of coming together to solve our own problems. But of course, I want to urge our leaders also to make sure that some of the things that stand in our way, that are actually not too difficult to address, should not continue to be the case. We need to fix our politics, our governance. And it all begins with mindset and clarity of vision. Like when people talk about AFCFTA and intra-African trade, how low it is, and so on and so forth, the first thing that comes to mind is lack of free movement. Why should there be anything like that? Why shouldn't there be free movement of people, goods and services? Why? Why shouldn't people of one country freely move across the border to another country, across the whole continent? What is the issue? In the end, we agree we are brothers and sisters and same people that have same needs. But in the end, the lack of this freedom of people to move freely, well, I'm talking about moving freely across borders. Some people don't move freely within their own borders. And it really is all about politics that can be fixed, and we must fix it. We now live in a complex and ever-changing world. But there are a lot of opportunities for us to take advantage of. As a continent, how well we adapt will depend on how strongly connected we are and on the value we add to our collective wealth. The good news is that integration in Africa is ongoing, and already we can see positive results. But we can do more, and we can go faster. Over 30 countries are now participating in the Guided Trade Initiative. Rwanda is happy to be among the first countries to join this pilot. Governments need to continue doing their part to create an enabling environment for business. Removing non-tariff barriers should remain a priority, as well as facilitating cross-border movement. Reducing freight, logistics, and logistic costs would also be a game changer. Africa has some of the highest in the world. The costs of freight and logistics, that is. Rwandair, our national carrier, is providing an affordable service to the private sector to expand their reach on the continent. I want to thank the Ethiopian Airlines. I'm told the CEO is here among us as an honored guest because of what they are doing to connect Africa and beyond, and we need to join them because even with so much work they are doing, still Africa is begging to be connected. the focus should be on supporting small and medium enterprises. The reason is simple. These businesses and the women and young people that own them are the backbone of Africa's economy. But they shouldn't remain small and medium. They need to grow. Building a single continent market does not happen overnight. A lot of progress has been made, but the road is still long. Even in the face of challenges, we need to be consistent and think outside of the box. That is the formula for success. Working together, there is nothing we cannot achieve. Once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for being with us here today. I hope you enjoy your stay, and I wish you a very productive meeting. Thank you for your kind attention.
And we thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, for joining us, for leading us, and for being an extraordinary example. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next 2 days, you will see a bringing together of business minds, entrepreneurs, youth, women, what we like to call the true drivers of the AFCFTA, and indeed what I believe are the custodians of our future. Daring, daring, daring to dream, daring to reinvent, daring to push the future of the AFCFTA forward. And of course, as we listen and engage with each other, demonstrating to the rest of the world that the AFCFTA is, in fact, in effect. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to say a big thank you for joining us here this morning for the opening ceremony. A quick announcement that we will continue right here in this room from 2 p.m. But for now, we would like to, with humility and respect, bid our high-level farewell as they go off to deliberate in other rooms on other matters. Please allow me, by standing up, to bid farewell to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, who is, of course, flanked by our high-level guests. We thank you, Your Excellency, for joining us. A round of applause for His Excellency, Secretary General Wamkele, AFCFTA champion, Deputy Chairperson of the AUC. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, officially, Biashara Africa 2024 is now open. Thank you. A round of applause for yourselves. My name is Anita Erskine, and we shall see you back in this room at 2 p.m. Enjoy your deliberations and all the best of luck.
Abakurikiye gahunda za televiziyo Rwanda rero murabyumvise umuhango wo gutangiza ku mugaragaro inama yo ku rwego rwo hejuru y'ubucuruzi bwa Afurika Biashara Africa umukuru w'igihugu nyakubahwa Perezida w'u Rwanda Paul Kagame no witangije ku mugaragaro bimwe mu byo yagarutseho ngira ngo no gushimira abakomeje kugira uruhare mu gushyira mu bikorwa iyi gahunda yo guhuza isoko cyangwa se gahunda yo guhuza ibihugu bya Afurika mu bucuruzi by'umwihariko akaba ashimira cyane ubunyamabanga bwa AFCFTA buyobowe na Secretary General wayo akaba yavuze ko bari gukora akazi gakomeye by'umwihariko mu kuba bashyiraho initiative ndetse n'ibikorwa bifatika bigamije kwihutisha uyu mugambi. Ikindi nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika agarutseho nuko hagomba no kubaho ibijyanye no gukuraho imbogamizi zimwe na zimwe zibangamiye uyu mugambi, harimo no kuba bashyiraho no gukuraho ibibazo bya politiki bimwe na bimwe, ndetse yanagarutse no kubijyanye no guteza imbere by'umwihariko inganda nto n'iziciriritse cyane cyane mu bagore ndetse n'urubyiruko. Ndi kumwe na Rutikanga Paul, umwe mu banyamakuru bagenzi banjye twari turi kumwe hano, ngira ngo wumvise ibyo Perezida Paul Kagame agarutseho ko bigamije kwihutisha ubucuruzi ndetse n'ubuhahirane hano muri Afurika.
Kuva 2018 iri soko rihuriweho ry'umugabane wa Afurika ryatangizwa. Iyo urebye haracyarimo intege nke cyane cyane ku bagomba kurishyira mu bikorwa abacuruzi bato, ari nabyo nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika yavuze ngo imipaka hari igihe abantu bayigendana baba bayifitemo muri bo. Ni isoko rizaba ari rinini cyane ku isi yose, ugendeye kuba ugereranyije n'andi masoko yo mu bindi bice by'isi. Ikintu bisobanuye ni iki? Nibatangira guhahirana, bakora avoka, bakora insenda hano mu Rwanda, bakabasha kuzicuruza muri Ghana, mu bindi bihugu bya Afurika, izi mbogamizi zose zakuweho, bizazamura uyu mugabane ku buryo budasanzwe. Ngira ngo rero muri iyi minsi itatu uhereye uyu munsi n'indi minsi ibiri igiye gukurikira kuri iri huriro ry'ubukungu nyafurika ry'ubukungu rizwi nka Biashara Africa 2024, ndizera ntashidikanya ko ibizavugirwamo hano, ingamba zizafatirwamo hano, cyane ko abaririmo nabo bashoramari nyine n'abari mu nzego zifata ibyemezo, nta gushidikanya bizatanga umusaruro ukomeye, kandi umusaruro Afurika izazamukiraho, kuko umugabane wa Afurika procedure urabizi ko ari umwe mu migabane ifatwa nk'ikiri inyuma mu bice hafi ya byose, yaba iterambere, gushyira hamwe ndetse n'ibindi. Ngira ngo rero uyu ni umwanya mwiza Placide wo kugira ngo abanyafurika nabo bishakemo ibisubizo, bashyize hamwe, bahuje imbaraga. Umugabane ugizwe n'ibihugu birenga 50, hafi miliyari 2 z'abagize uyu mugabane. Ngira ngo rero ni ikintu gikomeye, ni amateka yongeye kwandikwa nyuma y'imyaka